Hi. Today I'd like to talk about the risks and rapid growth of urban sprawl. Clearly, urban sprawl is affecting the lives of people worldwide in a negative way. The health of people has got to be considered when building communities, and instead of further spread, planners should be looking at alternatives. Global human population growth is around 75 million annually, or 1.1% per year. The global population growth has grown from 1 billion in the year 1800 to 7 billion in the year 2012. Development plans that promote sprawl have a number of consequences for local ecosystems. Many hold true for any development in the farmland-urban interface like we're out in right now. Destruction of farmland and wildlife habitat, introduction of non-native and invasive plants and animals into natural areas, increased risk of water pollution from oil and gasoline washing off paved surfaces from pesticides, lawn fertilizers, and other chemicals, increased potential for food or for flooding and soil erosion due to impervious surfaces such as concrete or pavement, decrease in groundwater for wells, and irrigation caused by the impervious surfaces. I'm talking about your cities, your communities. Dr. Richard Jackson points out that suburban development in many states has been driven by population growth, and California gobbled up huge expanses of land as it grew from 7 million to 30 million people between 1940 and 1990, a 329% increase. But in the same half century, Pennsylvania only grew 20%. In southeastern Pennsylvania, between 1970 and 1995, suburban development ate up a quarter of our prime farmland, while population actually declined by 140,000. There were many problems that come along with urban sprawl, one of them being the growing epidemic of diabetes worldwide. The International Diabetes Foundation has published new data indicating the enormity of diabetes epidemic. Data published today in the Federation's Diabetes Atlas show that the disease now affects a staggering 246 million people worldwide, with 40% of those affected in the age 40 to 59. Diabetes is also growing amongst all ages of Americans. 20 years ago, there was little diabetes, especially in young people. Now, there is a mass majority of population that either has diabetes or has prediabetes. Children are beginning to contract type 2 diabetes, which is mostly reserved for adults not that many years ago. It's not just disease and other severe health concerns that urban sprawl has an effect on. Obesity is rampant in the United States. Mr. Carmody was quoted in the book Designing Healthy Communities as saying, "A robust local food system improves the health of most vulnerable residents, enhances our natural environment." Obesity and overweight rates are increasing rapidly in the United States. In 2000, approximately 20.1% of the adult population was obese and 36.7% was overweight, and similarly, the current National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey found that the percentages of obese adults increased from 22.9% between 1988 and 1994 to 30.5% between 1999 and 2000. With all the epidemics, risks, and concerns, now is the time to change the way we plan, develop, and build our communities. Two solutions are the development of more mixed-use communities as an alternative to sprawl and appropriate design for communities to make them more walkable and appealing. However, the environmental intervention is not the entire solution to physical inactivity. Much is still poorly understood. In fact, sprawl may not be the only or even the primary force behind inactivity. The National Institute of Environmental Health Science defines the built environment as the buildings, spaces, and products created or modified to accommodate modern human society. Residential housing, schools, workplaces, parks, roads, walking and biking trails, and commercial centers. The facts are that the government and the people building, developers, city planners, and even us, the consumers, need to do something and need to be more inept at designing our communities. Development plans that promote sprawl have a number of consequences for local ecosystems. Many hold true for any development in the farmland-urban interface. Destruction to farmland and wildlife habitat introduces non-native invasive plants and animals to natural areas. It's time we start to think about the future, our futures, our children's futures. We need to save the things we hold dearest to us. Redevelopment and retrofitting communities are a healthier, safer, and more viable option when considering the health of our residents. Obesity, asthma, diabetes, and other health problems can be curbed by building communities that focus on the well-being of residents. Let's think about the future and do our part when considering what type of home option we are choosing. Help save the farms, the forests, nature, and the natural. Thank you. Have a great day.